says Tariq set me up to get arrested.
Find out what you need to find out. This could be a setup deal.
Want you, they want him. Flip on Tariq.
If she doesn't flip, we lose the case.
This is my mess. I'm gonna handle it.
First photo of the police report. Here, let's see.
After one of the most gut-wrenching ends that we've seen so far in Power Book 2 Ghost, we said goodbye to a Power OG and Theo Rollins, but the fallout is what we're all waiting to see. What happens next after Cooper Saxe's death, and how will Davis recover from losing Theo? I once said that a defeat for Davis doesn't have to come in losing a case. A defeat could also come in the form of a suicide for Theo Rollins. But going into the penultimate episode of Ghost Season 3, the stakes are going to be even higher, especially after Effie was arrested for Lauren's attempted murder. So all eyes will be on Effie. Will she talk? And will she give law enforcement what they need to close their case? For law enforcement, everything rests on Effie flipping on Tariq and the rest of the crew, with Kane trying to convince Effie to flip on Tariq. Episode 9 also seems to be like it's going to continue with the main theme of Season 3, which is betrayal. So Diana and Monet aren't too sure whether they can trust Tariq St Patrick, but again, a word of caution as we move into these final 2 episodes. Power have been on the ball in throwing huge major curveballs in these trailers, but we are going to run through all things episode 9, as well as bringing in some scenes that were released prior to Ghost Season 3 to paint the whole picture of what we know about Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3, Episode 9. Now the title of Episode 9 is A Last Gift, and the synopsis reads, Tariq scrambles to get ahead of information that could incriminate the drug organization and jeopardize his family's safety. Meanwhile, the feds double down and set their sights on a new target to aid their investigation. Now, in the context of storytelling, and especially for Power Book 2 Ghost, a last gift could mean a little gift that someone's left behind as a way for the story to move forward. For example, Ghost left Tariq with his trust fund, but in typical Power fashion, it had stipulations. Tariq could only inherit his trust if he graduated with an average GPA of 3.5, something which is ironically now in the hands of Western Holdings, but that allowed the story to move forward in Power Book 2 Ghost for Tariq St Patrick. In terms of where we are with the last gift for episode 9, I think it means something that Cooper Saxe has left. Even though he's no longer with us, his actions will have a long-lasting impact, and it starts with Diana and Monet. We hear Diana telling Monet that Saxe said Tariq set her up to get arrested, with Monet telling Diana to find out what she needs to find out. And so we see Diana doing what Diana does best. She's snooping around and trying to find what she can. Now she does come across a report, which I believe could be the report that Monet said she got rid of.
Whitman's file. I got rid of that shit. I don't want anyone to ever even know I had it.
So just some more background around this report which Monet said she got rid of, but even at the time in my breakdown for episode 5, I did question whether Monet really did get rid of it. So I'm wondering if this is the same report that is shown to Tariq by Davis in the trailer. Now this was a report that was taken from Detective Whitman's home when Monet paid Davis to find out what information he had on Monet and the Tejadas. So the context of this report said that Lorenzo's fingerprints was a partial match to what they found at the scene of the crime for Zeke's death, and so let's add 2 plus 2. The only Tejada remaining that don't know Lorenzo was behind Zeke's death is Diana and Drew. So what do you guys think will happen if this is indeed the report that tells Diana Lorenzo was possibly behind Zeke's death? She's someone who's smart and thinks just like her mother.
I'm just like you, right? You taught me everything I know.
So I do think it could be this moment where it's revealed to the rest of the remaining Tejadas that Lorenzo was behind Zeke's death, and where Diana figures out Monet was behind Lorenzo's death as well. Because I go back to this scene that we haven't seen yet. Diana says it's Monet again. She's the problem.
It's Monet again. She's always the problem.
Now this also falls in line with the theme of this video and the title of episode 9, A Last Gift. Could one of those gifts that create a problem for Davis and Tariq be Detective Whitman's file? Davis says that this could fuck them, because let's not forget, Saxe did find this file in Davis's drawer. He also took a picture of it and messaged Jenny Sullivan. Davis has a copy of a police file that he stole from Whitman. We need to meet. Now this is something that Jenny hasn't acted on just yet, but Tariq says he's seen a picture of the file which might be on Saxe's phone. Now I do have to say, I do think Davis does need to take a fair share of the blame for the situation they find themselves in with this report. Although he kept the police report in a locked drawer in his office, he did lead Saxe straight to it by putting the key to his locker under his laptop in front of Cooper Saxe. It also seemed like he gave this file to Monet without even reading the context of the report, because he was scrambling to go through it the moment she called him, and I couldn't have imagined he would have given the report to Monet had he known what was inside. But anyway, this report could be a big problem for Davis, and you could tell from his reaction. Now just to finish on Davis, this is a scene that we haven't seen yet, which I expect to be in episode 9 based on Davis wearing the same shirt which is without a tie, and it seems like he's telling who I can only assume is Effie. It's unethical but legal as fuck, which is something I'm going to touch on later on. So this brings me on to the arguably one of the main storylines going into episode 9. Could Effie flip on Tariq St Patrick and the rest of the crew? Now from a law enforcement perspective, Jenny says that if she doesn't flip, they lose the case. We've also got the returning Agent Medina. Now it seems like this case rests on them getting Effie to flip, but will she? In episode 8, Cooper Saxe said that she's most likely to cooperate. She's a straight A student who's got a future other than drug dealing, and Saxe isn't wrong. Effie does have ambitions beyond the game, and she's made that clear from day one. She's only in the game to pay for her loans and get by. So could Effie take a deal and flip on Tariq St Patrick? That's something that Kane is definitely urging her to do. We see Kane dressed as a lawyer telling Effie they don't want her, they want him, so flip on Tariq St Patrick. But this really is a bad move from Kane, and it does seem like he actually likes Effie. He's dressed up as a lawyer with fake glasses and a suit and tie, and he's trying to do what he can to help. He even went and hid in the bathroom after he said that's what Sims do. But we all know from day one, Kane's never liked Tariq St Patrick, and he'd rather see Tariq go down than Effie. But this is something I think Tariq will be well aware of anyway. He knows that Effie's burned him before, and she probably won't be afraid to burn him once again. Especially because their relationship isn't exactly in the best of places, and now she also has Kane in one ear, which was kind of funny to see when he found out about the two. So could Tariq send Davis to protect Effie? Not so much because he cares about Effie, because we all know he doesn't, not anymore, but by sending Davis, he'd be protecting himself. Now let's not forget, Tariq does have a recording of Effie where she admitted she tried to kill Lauren, and on the flip side, Effie has a picture of Nomar's daughter that Tariq wants to use to leverage his freedom. So all in all, it probably is in all their best interest to help Effie as much as Tariq may not want to, which is probably why he'll send Davis. But will Effie talk before Davis gets there? Law enforcement will try their damn hardest, that's for sure. Now elsewhere in the trailer for episode 9, Drew has a problem. The Castillos know that Drew had something to do with Gordo's disappearance, so he says that this is his mess and he'll handle it. Now from the quick snapshot that we see in the trailer, one thing is clear, this is the Castillos cafe. It's the same one that Monet went to see Evelyn in episode 5, and also seems like where they probably wash their cash like the Tejadas do with their bar. We also see someone dead, which is probably one of the Castillos with two men in disguise. So I expect the Castillos to put 2 and 2 together and figure out that Drew got rid of Gordo, which leads to a war between the Tejadas and the Castillos, something which Drew does seem to be dealing with, but could it also lead to a consequence for one of the Tejadas? Now 2 characters we haven't seen for 2 episodes are Nomar and Obi, and with the crew up to their necks with this impending war with the Castillos, Effie in jail, Davis facing his own issues, and Tariq's long list of issues that he always has as a St. Patrick. Where do they have time to move Nomar's product and make a profit? They've only really bought themselves a bit of time with law enforcement, but the longer this shit goes on with Effie and with everybody doing their own thing, like Kane telling Effie to flip on Tariq, it's only going to harm their organization, which in turn will make Nomar pretty angry, and I don't think they want to do that. So could we be in for a return of Nomar and Obi, and could we be in for a showdown between Nomar and Monet? But that's a breakdown of all things season 3 episode 9, an episode where Kane will try and help Effie, but what's her motives? Will she talk? Will she take a deal, and will she look out for number 1? Or will Davis work his magic? And let me know your thoughts on Diana potentially finding out Monet was behind Lorenzo's death, because I do think that moment is definitely coming, especially if this report is what I think it is. Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and as always, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.